Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a guide on how I gear up my PvP tunes. This has been probably the question I've been asked on the most between my videos and my streams. So I decided to make a video on it, and hopefully this will help you guys out and answer your questions. Some of it will probably, not very much, but some of it might change next season because we're in Season 3 right now. It's not Season 4. And Season 4 is going to be probably in a few weeks, like 4 to 5 weeks. But for more or less, I've been doing this every time there's a new season. There's I think the only thing that changes has been like the sparks. So more or less, I've been doing this every season. So I doubt I'll change much. And like I said, hopefully this will help you guys out. So let's get the first thing out of the way. If you want to gear the absolute fastest way as possible, which I imagine if you're watching this video, it probably won't change anything for you guys anyways, but I'll say it anyways just because it's another way. If you have a main and you have arena rating and it's late in the season, you can send it to your alts, and you just need 1,400 or above, 375 conquest, and you can just buy the boxes, send it to your alts, and gear pretty fast that way. But like I said, I imagine if you're watching this, you probably won't be able to do this route. But just for the future, if you have any rating and you have conquest, you can pretty much fully gear your tune instantly. Well, if you have a lot of conquest and your RNG doesn't suck. But just as a heads up to anybody watching this and does not know that. Second, alright, let's get the second thing out of the way. If you're leveling at the moment, and again, this might not affect you, I suggest getting to 1,200 honor or so, or not 1,200 honor, sorry, 12,000 honor or so, maybe even 13k just to be safe. You're going to need more if you're Fury, so I think 13 or 14k. And then that way, once you're max level, you will have a full honor set. If you are not fully honor set at max level and you need to farm honor, my suggestion to everybody, including myself, was what I usually do, is to avoid randoms, and I suggest queuing Epic Battlegrounds, because Epic Battlegrounds is a lot easier to kind of like be managed in. I know there's a lot of pre-mids unfortunately going on for Epics right now, but it is still a lot easier than randoms to win, in my opinion. You can also do Battleground Blitz because your gear does scale up, although it's late in the season right now, so everybody does generally have conquest at this point, so it still might be struggle. But I suggest doing that to get honor gear. And yeah, so now on to the next thing. This is pretty much what I do. I'm going to say this at the beginning, since we're getting close to Season 4. At the start of the season, what I usually do is spend like the first 2 or 3 weeks getting the vault done. If people don't like doing rated PvP, they can skip this, but I do like to get the vault for the first 2 to 3 weeks. And the reason why that is because there's a high chance of getting a gear piece that isn't like a duplicate, and then the later you go on, there's a higher chance of getting like the same like weapon or vice versa or so on. So I usually stop after the first 3 weeks, just because obviously I'm not a huge fan of doing arenas, but if you want to keep going for a chance of vault, you can do that. So that's just one thing I like to do at the start of the season. You don't have to do this, obviously. It's not going to hold you back that much. Just like maybe like some people might not even get lucky, and they might even get a duplicate on the first few weeks. Who knows? But yeah, that's what I like to do in the first 3 weeks. Another thing, for those that don't know, if you win your first whatever it is, you get a box. You open the box, and there's a chance of getting a trophy and or quest, whatever, in your bags. It's called Artisan's Corsian Leaflet. I chose my priest because I benched my priest this season. And you open it up, and you can pick whatever you want. A crafted hands, waist, and feet and shoulders in one slot, and the other one is crafted helmet, chest, or leggings. You turn that in, and that's 2 free gear pieces right there. Depending on what class you play, this might not be, because you might be using tier sets. So regardless, it's 1 free gear piece usually, if not 2, depending on what you play. But that's 2 free gear pieces right away for basically no reason. And so, yeah, you can get 2 free gear pieces just like that pretty easily. The rest of how I gear up is this, a mixture of war mode gear and conquest gear. What I like to do is I like to go for the um, the weapon first, which is 2 weeks. Um, 2 weeks when the first season starts. And the reason why that is because conquest weapons cost a lot. So I like to go for the war mode weapon first, and generally most people usually do that anyways. And then for war mode gear, you can end up going for your tier set if it's good. What I like to do is get most of the expensive stuff out of the way first, usually. So it's stuff like helmets, chests, stuff like that. And then for my trophy, I actually like to use to get the expensive stuff done first. So either the helm or chest piece. Again, that does depend on if your tier set's good or not. So that's what I like to do. It's just get a mixture of war mode and conquest gear. My suggestion for war mode gear is get the stats that are better for you. So for example, Shadow Priest, I'm obviously getting the weapon for haste and versatility. Helmet would be a good one because it has haste versatility on it. Um, Leggings not really too particularly useful. Versatility mastery on it. Like you kind of get the general idea. Go for the pieces that like have good stats. Like I would completely ignore the shoulders because there's crit on it. You know what I mean? So and then ignore the waist because there's crit on it, and go for the conquest version of the shoulders and the belt because they have better stats. Like hopefully you guys kind of get the general idea. So basically, a mixture of conquest and war mode gear would be the fastest way. Add to the fact that you do get a free trophy in your bags, and then of course um, the vault, if you do end up going for that. Between all of those, you pretty much will be geared up pretty quickly. The vault is just pretty much at the start of the season, by the way. Once it's like really late into the season, it doesn't really matter because there's so much catch-up mechanics at this point that it just doesn't really matter if you do the vault or not. Like for example, you can send trophies. You can send honor to your alts with those marks of honor things, and buy trophies and end up buying war mode gear that way. And I already showed you the conquest boxes. The final thing you can do. It's not really much faster because you still have to buy the conquest thing for it anyways. But there is a thing called Sparks this season, and there's going to be Sparks next season. But I think they're going to be different. So I don't know how much that's going to change, but I'm just going to say this anyways. You can buy crafted gear. And speaking of which, this is how you make your trophy of conquest gear anyways. So basically what you do, for example, I would usually make a ring, and then once you have 2 sparks of dreams or whatever it is, you create it, you buy the rest of the mats in the auction house, you put the sparks of dreams in there, it'll make the ring automatically maxed conquest item level out, which is 489. And then of course down here you can pick your stats once you buy the thing in the auction house for it. And then if you want to add an embellishment, which since I'm a priest, I would get precog. And yeah, here's the trophy to make it 489 in PvP. And then of course you put your gold commission in there, and then you wait for somebody to make it, and that's it. So this is if you want to make a crafted piece like for certain stats that Conquest Gear doesn't or War Mode Gear doesn't. Hopefully this pretty much helps you guys out. I explained it the best I could. I know I'm not normally the best at explaining things, but hopefully I kind of explained it well enough. If you have any more questions, let me know. But that's how I've been doing it every single season. And I'm planning to do the same thing in Season 4. And yeah, I'll see you guys for the next video. Peace. So I forgot to mention something when I ended the last video. So this has been also what I was asked for. How do I get conquest really fast? Forgot to mention this in the video. Basically, what I always do is just get your daily battleground wins done. There's 4 different win modes between the brawl, and Battleground Blitz, randoms, and epics. So do your daily Battleground wins. First one is 70, first one's 110, first one's 40, and first one's 100. And then you're probably going to say, well, what do you do after that? If you don't want to do, like, that, obviously the fastest way is 2v2. 2v2 is definitely the fastest way. But if you don't want to do rated arena like I usually do, like I don't usually go that route, Battleground Blitz does give you conquest pretty quickly. It gives you like 50 per win. I think randoms and epics just don't give you as much. So just spam Battleground Blitz to get conquest that way. But yeah, other than that, just do your daily Battleground wins every single day. Just win all 4 modes. Other than that, do your weekly PvP. I ignore the arena ones. You don't have to do that. It's more conquest. So if you want to gear faster that way, you can do that. But I ignore it. I always do the Battleground Weekly, which this week happens to be Epic Battlegrounds. It's free 175 conquest, just like that. And make sure you do the Battleground Blitz Weeklies. There's 2 different ones. The first one, you just have to do a Battleground Blitz match. Don't even have to win it. Free conquest that way. Although you're going to have to win Battleground Blitz if you want the conquest, of course. So just do that. Once you turn that in, it'll give you another Battleground Blitz quest. You have to do 3 matches, and then that's another insane amount of conquest just like that. So that is pretty much how I gear up pretty quickly. Also, I forgot you do get something different done as well, so that's even more conquest. And then the final thing is just do the War Mode Weekly. It's free trophies, so you can gear up that way, which I showed you guys earlier. And yeah, hopefully this guide helps you guys out. To sum it up once again, do your daily Battleground wins. Do the PvP weeklies. I usually just do the Battleground ones. Do the War Mode Weekly. And that's how I pretty much get Conquest pretty quickly. Anyways, that's it. Now I'll see you guys later.